health, yoga, wine. Well, nothing to do with what's in your bank account. However, it does have a lot to do with abundance and teaching you how to be grateful. And the reason I'm doing this podcast is to guide you to the masters who will teach you how to do this. I'm not the one, folks. I am a protege of Bob Proctor, Peggy McColl, and Mary Morrissey. And these three teachers I have been studying with for several years. And it's because of them that has really helped me soar through the pandemic, quite honestly. And they're all three different. Peggy McColl is good for someone who's just starting out and wants to embrace human potential development in kind of an easygoing fashion. She does a great program called Morning Manifestations. And if you go to my website, shayvalerie.us, it will give you links to get to her. And she teaches how to begin really getting what you want out of life. Even during chaotic times like the pandemic, all three of these folks know exactly what to do. And that's why I don't read the news too much, because it will thwart you, stop you in your foot tracks dead, thinking that you cannot get anywhere because of the pandemic. Peggy McColl also does a program called Life Script, and it's only $64. Once you belong to any of these programs, you have them for life. It's a one-time investment, and that's what my podcast is all about, is to guide you to people I have already studied with for years, so that you don't spend your time delving into what I call charlatans in this business. I'm not a life coach. I'm not a consultant. I will do research for you, and if you go to my website, you'll find three of the top masters. Peggy McColl is a good way to start out. Basic information, nothing that is too woo-woo, but it will really get you started and get your feet wet. Bob Proctor, in my opinion, is very corporate. And I was in the corporate world when I came upon his teachings. I worked in the fine wine and spirits industry for over 24 years. And this industry, while I loved it and I did fantastic and I traveled the world because of the industry, especially this time of year, from September until December 30th, your direct report, management, they're all insane because it's just sell, quotas. And I got to the point where I really wanted leadership in my life. The fine and wine spirits industry, folks, they don't have leadership. There are a few people I've met that I think are forward-thinking and know how to work with people. But by large, it's just about sell, stock those 25 cases of booze and wine, and after an 80-hour week, go home and try to love your job. That's how I fell into Bob Proctor. I was always in my car, so I could listen to his practices, and then I finally enrolled in one of his programs. And I still study with him every day. I study with Peggy McColl, and then Mary Morrissey was the person I just started working with. But Bob Proctor, for me, his forte is paradigms. And paradigms, it's simply habits, folks. It's either your bad habits or your good habits. We have them both. And I will share with you how Bob has helped me with a very difficult situation. And that's the fact that 21 years ago, I bought 40 acres and 3 houses in Hudson Valley, New York. And I got this wasp in my bonnet that I wanted to have a bed and breakfast. Now, quite honestly, I've always dreamed about having a bed and breakfast. And they all three talk about this. When you dream something, you're going to take action steps to get there. Now, even though I was dreaming about this, I never really thought about what it would look like as far as day-to-day work. Regardless, that's what happened. After 15 years of running the bed and breakfast, It's right up the street from the Culinary Institute of America, so I always had the chefs there. I mean, I was insane. I added another 40 hours to my work week. I was nuts. And it just hit me that I hated the property because it took so much from my life. I couldn't go sailing when I wanted to. I couldn't go biking when I wanted to. And even though I had help, it was just sucking the life out of me. And after studying with Bob, I began to realize, girl, you got to change your life. And I started to see I needed to take some risks. I needed to change my life drastically because on top of having the bed and breakfast, I also had 3 rentals, really. I lived in one of my houses, so I had to deal with 2 other tenants. And I've been a landlord for 40 years. It's not fun. It's not profitable. It's a pain in the butt. And I literally came to the realization, because I was growing to hate my property so much and working with Bob, it was time to sell this baby. But not only, folks, was it time to sell my property, but I needed to get away because we had listed the property and it had been on the market for a couple years. But I was projecting actually disgust and hate and what a pain in the butt the place was to take care of. And we were getting rotten offers. And because I was projecting this doom and gloom attitude, even though I never met any of the potential buyers, I was sending out that energy. And that's what all 3 of my mentors teach us. Your vibration is one of the foremost laws of the universe. And what you vibrate, you attract. Therefore, I took the quantum leap, which is a whole nother discussion, that I needed to move. And this, because I wanted to sell everything, I felt it was smarter for me to get off of the property, change my attitude. But also, the second part of my dream, I've always wanted to go back and live in a beach community. Well, I knew I could change that part, so I moved to Gulfport, Florida. I had lived here 20 years ago in the area. I knew I'd be a happy camper. And I am. I've been here for 2 years. My life has completely changed. Now, the property is still on the market, but I have completely changed my perception of the property. I only go back every 4 months, 3 or 4 months, and I love it there. And I am attracting now because the vibration I'm sending out is, this is what I say to myself every morning. I write it down. And this is what you want to do, which all 3 of the mentors teach us. How to write your affirmations and a gratitude book. I write every morning as though the sale has already happened and it has a new owner. It sounds like this. I am so happy and grateful. The new owner of my property loves everything about it. They love the land, they love the location, they love the inn, they love the rental income, they love the tenants. This has been a dream come true for them. They've always wanted acreage and rental income. See, now that's what you do. That's how you bring the right new owner to your life. And it's happening. I just know it. I've done some other things to make it happen, and I just know it's going to happen. I no longer feel like I have this burden because I've also started this podcasting because I love to do public speaking and because I know so much through Bob and Mary and how to guide people. But the yoga I'm going to share with you next, I've been studying for 25 years, and every day I do it. And the wine industry, I know so much that can help people improve their lives because they're going to drink better wine. So that's it. Mary, Bob, and Peggy are just, they're amazing people, and I want to share them with everybody. I'm like a genie. If you have 3 wishes, I have 3 people I can send you to. It's not me, folks. I'm just the genie who's going to grant you your wish. Yoga. I only study Kundalini yoga. It's the world's oldest yoga. There is so much science and technology in Kundalini yoga. We just did a special class, and my teacher's in New York, and she does all of her classes virtually. And talk about another person who helped me through the pandemic. Morrissey and Hariprakaash I soared, and I'm still soaring through the pandemic because I won't let all the chaotic infiltrate my life. Now, yes, do I get sad and do I cry? Yes, and they both tell us, cry. If you really have to stay in bed today just to get over the chaos that's going on, do that because it cleanses your system. We did a special class on cleansing your system because it was a new moon. That's what's amazing about Kundalini yoga. It's very connected to the universe. I know this sounds woo-woo for a lot of you. I don't care. Embrace woo-woo. We need woo-woo in our lives. As a matter of fact, Bob, Mary, and Peggy all talk about being connected to the universe. That's how you develop your higher human potential, learning about the infinite. Folks, we have so much power within us, and we let stupid television and all this other nonsense infiltrate our thoughts. Stop. Listen to these guys. Even if you don't enroll for their programs, start listening to these 3 mentors I'm telling you about. And take a class of Kundalini yoga from my teacher. You can do a class based on the new moon. You can do a class based on the full moon. You can do all kinds of amazing classes with Hariprakaash, and you will glide through this chaos, because this is not going to be the end of our chaotic times, folks. I got news for you. This pandemic is Mother Nature pissed off, and it's going to be that way off and on the rest of our lives. Now, that I was talking about being connected to the universe and new moons and full moons. Being in the fine wine industry for over 25 years, I was extremely blessed and lucky to visit France and other areas. But really, the French wine producers are the ones who are really big into biodynamics. And the essence of biodynamic is new moon and full moon to plant what to plant above ground and below ground. And our great-great-grandparents used to do this also. What to plant at the new moon, what to plant at the full moon. Biodynamic wines, they have some really crazy practices. They'll actually take a horn that has already been cut off a gazillion years ago. No animal was harmed for its horn, and put manure in it, liquid manure, and pour it around the end of the vineyards. And this helps fertilize, and it helps bring the hoobie-jooby spirits and protects their vineyards. There's all kinds of really cool things that the biodynamic vintners have incorporated now. So that's it. Everything I'm telling you about today is woo-woo, and it all connects you to the infinite and the universe. I know that's a lot to grasp. I don't really care. It's good for you. I am going to talk about food and wine pairing before I end this. We have Thanksgiving in the United States happening next week. Everybody talks about Pinot Noir, that it is the go-to wine. Yeah, but how boring. Now, I will share with you, because our foods are so rich and they're so varied on the table, a lot of people will choose big wines. They'll choose a Brunello. They'll choose a Cabernet from California, or they'll choose a big oaky Chardonnay from Australia. Don't do that. Number one, sparkling wine, and yes, I love champagne, but there's Cremant de Loire, there's actually Cremant de Bourgogne. There are some inexpensive champagnes out there, but Bilcar-Saman Rosé is my absolute favorite. Bubbles are a great way to start your meal, and quite honestly, I am a bubble head, so I would have bubbles the entire meal, and maybe some Tito's. I love Tito's. But Riesling from Germany, J.J. Krum bottle. Have beautiful from Alsace also. You want a clean, crisp Alsatian wine. To mix things up, there is a wonderful red wine from Austria, Zweigelt, delicious. However, if you want to stick to, because it's an American meal, and stick to only American wines, I love Robert Zinsky. This man is the most talented, in my opinion. I love, there's several. Go to my website, ShayValerie.us. If you want some Thanksgiving suggestions from American vintners, I'm more than happy to send you out some really good producers. And that's it, folks. Thoughts become things. Change your paradigm. Bob Proctor is the quintessential master. You'll never, ever meet someone like him who can help you change your paradigms. And Mary Morrissey is so spiritual in her teachings. She teaches you action steps and how to every day take a little baby step toward the life that you want, the vision you have in your heart and in your gut and in your soul. We all deserve everything out of life. Don't listen to these idiots out there in the world. They're closed-minded. And yoga. Oh my gosh. Please go to my website, ShayValerie.us, and practice with Hariprakaash. And wine, yep, I can send you, if you need some really good American vintners, I'm more than happy to send you my suggestions. Au revoir.